All right, day 8, it's a travel day, so a little bit different video today. Let's talk about travel credit cards. So a few months ago, my wife and I went on a delayed 10-year anniversary trip. And while we were thinking about how expensive the trip was going to be, we decided that it was high time to look into getting a travel credit card. For the past 15 years, my wife and I have had a joint bank account, and any kind of credit card that we've had has always strictly been a cashback account. You almost ready to go?
Why?
Welcome to Baltimore. And that was always the plan until earlier this year when we decided that we were going to go on a big trip and we finally needed to dip into a travel credit card. How we planned to use it was mostly for the bonus points. And I can't tell you how many websites I visited and friends I asked to get information about what cards they're using. And at the end of the day, we ended up going with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. This is not an endorsement. And to be honest, it was completely worth it. All right, flight number 2. Welcome to Hartford. We ended up buying our plane tickets with that credit card and used up all those bonus points on 3 nights between Munich and Zurich. The card can be used internationally, so it made it really easy to avoid extra fees, plus it made it extra simple to track our spending throughout the trip. We also have built up points now for future vacations. But to be honest with you, I don't know how frequently we're going to be using that travel card going forward. Here's why. First of all, the points that you get to then use towards travel in the future, well, generally they don't really go as far as you would hope. The cost of using those points is likely higher than you trying to book one of those hotels, as an example, directly from a website like Travelocity or Expedia. Also, when you book through one of those websites, you're going to notice that you might be limited in terms of what you're able to get into. For example, they might restrict it to certain kinds of airlines at certain times or certain kinds of seats, or in our experience, only being able to stay in certain kinds of hotels. And it's pretty easy to know. We stayed in Europe and we ran into so many Americans because of the fact that, well, they were all using the same Chase points. And most importantly for us, we realized that we just get more value out of using a cashback card instead of using a travel card. And it's not to say that the travel card isn't for everybody, but for us, we have 2 young kids, we don't do a lot of extensive travel, so for us, we're just going to derive more value from the regular everyday expenses like gas and groceries to be able to get the best bang for our buck. In case you're curious, our cashback card is the American Express Cash Preferred card. Again, not an endorsement. So if you're traveling a lot, I can totally tell you that travel cards can work. But first, maybe think a little bit about, is the travel card you're purchasing just for that one trip, or is it something that you hope to use for years to come?